And the Lord answered and said to me, with the Most High, account is not taken of time nor of few years. He don't care about time nor of no years. Listen to this. For what did it profit Adam that he lived 930 years and transgressed that which was commanded? What did it profit Adam, who lived 930 years? He lived a long time, and he still transgressed that which was commanded of him. So time don't have nothing to do with this. In fact, time is probably your problem. Therefore, the multitude of time that he lived did not profit him, but brought death and cut off the years of those who were born from him. It didn't do anything but make matters worse. The long life that Adam had of 950 years didn't do anything but give him enough time to transgress and ruin it for those that came after him. Wherein Moses suffered loss in that he lived only 120 years. And inasmuch he was subject to him who formed him, brought the law to the seed of Jacob, and lighted a lamp for the nation of Israel. I just told you. Me coming forward, I'm going to use me coming forward doing these Bible studies as an example. The pressure to birth that which was within me and give up what I had inside of me in its full integrity made me think in ways of not in time, but in effectiveness. I didn't have time to placate it out and draw it all out and create it all beautiful for you. I had to just come forward and do it. And then in doing it, not just do it any old kind of way. I had to think in ways and align with God for God to direct me in ways to be able to display it to you in its fullness effectively. This is what the scripture is speaking to. Moses only had 120 years, and I don't want to come on here screaming. Moses only had 120 years. And in that time, he was subject to the one that formed him. He had a relationship with God. He saw God and brought the law to the seed of Jacob and lighted a lamp for the nations of Israel. Friend, Moses, this is deep. Moses saw God, whereas the children didn't see God. Moses would be the leader that would come from his time with Jethro back to these children. The man that knew both worlds. He knew Pharaoh's house and he knew the children's house. These are all people bound in Egypt. All of them. And he comes back to these children and he goes to Pharaoh and he tells Pharaoh what? Let my people go so that they can go and serve God in the wilderness. Not in the promised land, in the wilderness. I saw this today, reminded me of it. Let me go so I can serve God in the wilderness with these children. Why the wilderness? The wilderness because these children had taken upon themselves attributes of Egypt, which God knew they would. But certain attributes they did not need. Some of which they needed and some of which they didn't. And they would need time between where they started to where they would end up. And that time in between would be the wilderness. That wilderness time would allow them to know God. Friend, the time you spend in your wilderness is your time where you get your knowing. Do not discredit your wilderness. Most of your life will be in the wilderness, baby. I'm here to tell you, you're going to spend most of your life wandering around the wilderness. You're going to know your wilderness places. You're going to know what tools you need to successfully navigate them. You're going to see many people that you in the wilderness that you've seen over time. Some that made it a permanent residency. Some come and go. The wilderness is the time you spend in getting to know the God within you. It is the time that you build up your internal house. You make yourself strong and formidable. You gain your knowing in your wilderness time frame. And in the wilderness time, these children would wrestle within themselves. They would want to go back. They would want to go back to the mistreatment because at least they knew it. They didn't know what to expect moving forward. They didn't know God. This was something completely new. Nobody did this. They come from a place where people honor multiple gods. That was the way of life. Not just in Egypt, but the entire world. This one honoring one God thing was unheard of. It was blasphemous at the time. They bought in, but they weren't all the way in. And whenever there would be some kind of a wind that would come, it could be a small wind, they would complain and complain and complain. Like we all do. Because, friend, look, Moses had the ability to see God. These children didn't see. They were depending on Moses. These people are depending on a promise from a man. And they're looking to see signs and wonders because that's all they had. It's easy to condemn someone and say, oh yeah, these children weren't doing this and that. They weren't doing it. But when you're in it, what else do you have? It's no other way. It's no other. I don't believe that they didn't. I believe these children suffered from not knowing if it was God or not. You got many imposters amongst you. This is what Baruch is talking about. He's saying that we don't even have enough time in this body to really figure this thing out. And there's so many evils around us. It's so many imposters. And the way you move, Father, you move through people that you condemn. Which is confusing to us because we're looking like, okay, wait a minute. Would God do that? I mean, is this God or is this an imposter? You can look through the Bible. Look at Gideon. Look at Jonah. Your God says, I'm not a God that cares about time. I gave Adam 950 years of life, and he did more destruction in that amount of time than Moses did in 120 years. Moses was more effective than Adam because Moses saw me. Moses saw me and Moses feared me. And that fear and that pressure got more out of Moses than it did for Adam, who wasn't under such constraints. Verse 18, chapter 18. And I answered and said, he that lighteth has taken from the light. And there are but few that have imitated him. He that lighteth hath taken from the light. He's talking about Moses. He that lighteth had taken from the light. He got something out of his relationship with God. It wasn't just like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm not really going to pay attention to what is happening amongst me. I'm just going to be robotic and do this because I'm afraid. No, he actually loved it. He was in awe of it. He took it all in. He took it seriously. Once you understand a thing, you can take it seriously, friend. It's the